Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video I would like to read an article entitled China's Maritime Disputes from 1895 until 2020. China's Maritime Disputes. Disputes between China and its neighbors, including the Philippines and Vietnam in the South China Sea, have intensified in recent decades. While the territorial row with Japan over the Senkaku or Diaoyu Island is the East China Sea dates to the 19th century. 2020, tensions rise in South China Sea amid pandemic. 1895, April 17, 1875, Sino-Japanese War ends. The Sino-Japanese War, fought primarily over control of Korea, ends with the signing of the Treaty of Shimonoseki, in which China ceded territories including Formosa or Taiwan to Japan. The treaty does not mention the Senkaku or Diaoyu Islands, which were not discussed during negotiation. Beijing maintains that this transfer included the island, while Tokyo claims that it was owned them since January 1895, when it officially annexed the uninhabited land. These distinctions comes into play after World War II, when China says the island must be returned to Chinese rule as a result of the Cairo and Potsdam Declaration, which obliged Japan to renounce claims to all territories seized through war. 1895. 1937, September 3, 1937, Japan invaded South China Sea Island. Japanese troops marching through Hainan Island in 1937. After claiming exclusive right over several South China Sea archipelagos, Japan occupies the Pratas Island. The Japanese Imperial Navy lands on the spot list in December 1938 and invades Hainan Island the following February. Japan's moves follow the Marco Polo Bridge incident of July 1937, a battle between the Republic of China's National Revolutionary Army and the Japanese Imperial Army, which marked the Japanese invasion of China. Japan's military foray into the South China Sea took place during a decade in which French Indochina forces have also been present in the area, surveying the island in the early 1930s and occupying the Paracel Island in 1938. June 20, 1945, Senkaku Diaoyu Island comes under U.S. control. U.S. forces at Okinawa in April 1945 Corpus. After Tokyo surrendered at the end of World War II, the United States assumes control of Japan. This includes the Ryukyu Island, which Washington later interprets to include the Senkaku or Diaoyu Islands. The greater Ryukyu Islands are seen as being of strategic significance at the time when communism is spreading in the region. The Kuomintang-led government of China makes repeated claim to the island, and April 1948 calls for their return. The U.S. occupation of Japan's main island lasts until the end of the Korean War in 1952, but the United States continues to occupy Okinawa until 1972. 1947, China marks South China Sea claims. China, under the rule of the nationalist Kuomintang Party, demarcates its territorial claims in the South China Sea with an elephant-dash line on a map. The claim covers the majority of the area, including the Pratas Islands, the Macclesfield Bank, and the Paracel and the Spratly Island, which China regained from Japan after World War II in 1949. Communism leader Mao Zedong declares the creation of the People's Republic of China or PRC in 1953. The Chinese Communist Party led government removes the portions encompassing the Gulf of Tonkin, simplifying the border to 9 dashes. To this day, China invokes the 9-dash line as the historical basis for its territorial claims in the South China Sea. 1947 1951 Treaty of San Francisco, September 8, 1951. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Yoshida signed the Treaty of San Francisco with the United States on September 8, 1951. The United States and 47 other nations signed a treaty of peace with Japan in San Francisco, officially ending World War II. Japan renounced all claims to Korea, Formosa or Taiwan, the Pescadores, and the Spratly Island in the South China Sea. The Senkaku or Diaoyu Islands, a tacit understanding that Japan will administer them as a part of Okinawa Prefecture. Japan is granted residual sovereignty, meaning full sovereignty would eventually be transferred to Japan over the Ryukyu Islands. In turn, the United States are permitted to open military bases on Okinawa, whether the Senkaku or Diaoyu Islands were considered part of Okinawa or ceded to Taiwan after the treaty remains a contentious issue in present-day debate over sovereignty in the East China Sea. October 1, 1960, U.S.-Japan Security Treaty. Demonstration in Tokyo protest the U.S.-Japan Security Treaty in January 1960. The United States and Japan signed the bilateral Treaty of Mutual Cooperation and Security, a 10-year renewable agreement stipulating that any attack on territories under Japan's administration would require actions by both countries to meet the common danger. In an analogous situation, the United States is bound by a 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty by the Philippines. Washington has consistently asserted that the treaty confers the Senkaku or Diaoyu Islands, though it has refrained from explicitly endorsing Japan's sovereignty claim over the island. Some analysts believe the U.S.-Japan Treaty presents the biggest deterrent to a takeover of the island by force. 1969 UN report find high probability for oil in East China Sea. A China national offshore oil corporation oil rig in China's Bohai Sea, China. After extensive geological survey in 1968 and 1969, a report published by the UN Economic Commission for Asia and the Far East find substantial energy deposit in the seabed between Taiwan and Japan, the waters of the Senkaku or Diaoyu Island. The paper marks of the first credible finding of hydrocarbon resources there, reigniting interest in the region. Although China has not previously disputed Japanese claims to the islands, it asserted its own sovereignty over them in May 1970 after Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan held talks on joint energy exploration in the East China Sea. So the time is up and the article will be continued to read on the next video. So bye bye and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Bye.